What is your American dream?
My American dream has already been fulfilled in so many ways, and I hope soon to visit Turkey, and I hope there'll be peace in the Middle East, and I hope for happiness and peace in the world.
Our American dream is to become a professor to teach Middle Eastern history, because the cliche quote is like, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
American dream is like freedom, good life. I love the America. Live like that.
I've been here like almost 15 years, and my American dream is being here is just, as a researcher, is wonderful. Make a difference in education, and it's just wonderful to be here. That's to be a part of the education system, I think. Yeah.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! And so, yeah, and that's how, you and I met, Leafy. Oh, hello, everybody. I was just telling my new friend Leafy here about my trip to Delaware this weekend. Yep, that's right. You see, I had been hearing a lot about this guy, Joe Biden. I mean, we made personalized candles of ourselves after Brad schmoozed about the Joe Biden candle. Yep, Joe Biden has an orange-scented candle. He does. And Demba Sal also met Joe Biden in Philadelphia. But I know Joe Biden lives in Delaware. So when I overheard Jilly Bean was going to Delaware for the weekend, I asked to come along so I could search for Joe Biden. Okay, Jill, so just
Sam,
go straight to the side.
sit down and put on your seatbelt, please.
Yep, don't worry, I won't get you lost.
Sam, that's why we have Waze. I don't need you to give me directions. Put on your seatbelt.
Anyway, it's very pretty in Delaware. I went to the beach and I looked far and wide. Is that Joe Biden? No. Then I saw where he had to be, the old man's golf pro. I mean, if there's one thing Donald Trump has taught me, it's that presidents really, really, really like to hang out on the golf course. So I figured since Joe Biden is running for president, maybe he was in there. Maybe old Donald Trump was there too. I had fun at the golf course, but no Biden and no Trump. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen Joe Biden? Hey, watch that thing. Oh my goodness, I found the hidden treasure. Brad Squad, we're gonna be rich. Rich, I tell ya. Oh. Well, I've always wondered what I would look like as a platinum blonde. Now I know. Ha 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 ha. He just hangs out in Florida and New Jersey, I guess. I know Joe Biden is concerned about the environment and doesn't think climate change is fake news, so I thought maybe he would be hanging out at a farm. But no Joe at the farm. I was kind of bummed out I didn't find Joe Biden until I made the most amazing discovery that turned my groundhog frown upside down. Strawberries! I discovered strawberries at the farm. It turns out the strawberry is the state fruit of Delaware. And guess what else? McGee's Farm is the farm that helped make that a law in 2010. Cool, huh? And now I have a new delectable snack. I cannot believe no one had turned me on to strawberries before this. So no Joe Biden, but strawberries. And that was my trip, Leafy, and you and I met at the farm as well. And now we're both back together in New York. What an adventure. I got to visit a new state. Anyway, did you miss Friday's episode of Brad Show Live? Well, in case you did, we didn't really have a full episode. We had a pop-up show. And Brad answered tons and tons of immigration questions, which is good because we have so many. And now is the time that you have all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-hosts Belgium Kim and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Enjoy strawberries!
Welcome, everybody. Monday, June 10th. Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, Belgium Kim. Welcome to Brad Show Live.
Whoa, whoa.
You are in a very large tuxedo there.
I
You
know.
look like one of those Rat Pack tuxedos from the 60s.
Right.
You know, like Dean Martin, Sammy
Right.
Davis Jr. You know, one of those big
I like
ones.
that. I like that.
Right, and
I took off my blazer though.
I was gonna say you should have left it on because you can't really see the bow tie.
I know. I felt like too overdressed with my
No,
blazer.
you were not overdressed.
No.
Really? Should I put my blazer back on?
You should put it back on because
think
then
so.
you'd be color coordinated, white, black, and be.
Okay, well, I'll
yeah,
put
I
my
think
blazer
the swag,
back on.
When it comes back to me during the schmooze, maybe
I got you.
You
Go
can go
run.
put it on. Go and do it. And Belgium Kim, how are you? Good weekend?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yes,
Great weekend.
Belgium bro, he left.
Belgium bro left after
Yes.
a very successful weekend.
Thank God he
Brad-
left.
I know. Brad
I
isn't
made it.
sweating
I
anymore.
made it through safely,
Listen, I mean,
And-
just barely escaped it.
and I really appreciate you keeping my address away from him because I know he wanted to
Kept
know
on
where I
asking for
lived. He
it,
kept
huh?
asking for
I had
it.
to keep my phone under lock and
Yes.
key, Brad. He was trying to snatch it away from me all weekend.
And we got to say hello to Carol Anderson, the Tiger, Angela Barrett, how are you? Willie L. Williams, Cordella Douglas, Dawn Harriet, Fearless Michelle, and who else we got here? Lisa Bling Rose, Cordella Douglas. Haven't seen Cordella Douglas in the comments in a while.
Well, and
Really?
today she's going to be in and out because she said she's in Vermont.
Oh, where's Cordella been?
What are you doing out in Vermont?
Yeah, Mia Montauk, how are you? And who else we have here? First Lady Hewitt. And on Facebook, Pretty Mon Love. Is that new?
Pretty my love.
Pretty my love.
Good evening, squad. Maybe long time, first time.
Maybe a long time,
love.
first time, yeah.
Ja Love, how are you? Wow, this is going to be a hard one. Jesuda Lamola Kalokrik.
Jesudan.
Jesuda Miola Kalokrik.
Milola.
Kalokrik says, hello. We say squad up. Sophia Samcon says, hi, Brad. Marlene Rossi with a question. Back it up, Ricky says, good evening, everybody. Jack Clark says, hello, good people. One love. Marlene Rossi. Tina Peterson, Travel Maniac, has a question. We'll get to you in a little bit. Danny Contreras, always watching. Here's here another person. Latana Binner Sani has a question. We'll get to you also later. Donald Horden says, hey, Jill, Yo-Yo, Brad, and my love, Kim. Neither me, Jill, Yo-Yo, any love from Donald Horden, but Belgium
not
Kim,
his love.
my love. And Loretta Brown, how are you? Winnie 2019, Tolly, Kahai, Andreen Spence, and everybody else who I missed. Welcome. And
Welcome.
you know who I didn't see, who's in our spotlight today?
Who's that?
Oh.
Christy Consali.
Yes,
Is she watching? I didn't see her.
I believe she
I
is.
hope she is. She's in our Brad Squad Spotlight today. Her name is Christy Kinsale, not Christy Consali.
Right.
I have been
what?
pronouncing it incorrectly for 1.5 years now. So my apologies, Christy Consali, now known as Christy Kinsale.
No.
I like Christy
I was
Consali.
Yeah,
just
me
about to
too.
say, now known as Christy. Are we really going to call her Christy Kinsale now?
No, she's still going to be Christy Consali,
Right.
but everyone should know.
Yes, she is.
She's Christy Kinsale. She says, Brad pronounces my name incorrect all the time.
She's right.
It's true. She is from Trinidad. She's currently living in Philadelphia. She used to live in Harlem and Brooklyn, but never heard the Brad Show on the radio, even though she was in Harlem and Brooklyn.
Which is
now,
crazy.
Brooklyn had trouble hearing my radio show. In all defense of Christy Consali.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Harlem, you should have heard it there.
Uh-huh.
Because
Right.
the radio station was up in New Rochelle, which is up, Upper West, Westchester.
Okay.
So the signal didn't make it all the way south to Brooklyn.
I gotcha.
But it made it all the way up to Connecticut. She says, I guess I was living under a rock. You were not living under a rock. I'm
No.
telling you that it wasn't sometimes in Brooklyn. When asked how she found out about the show, she said, when the orange Oompa Loompa became president, I came across the Brad Show on my newsfeed, and I have been a fan of the show ever since. She needed that Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa to, by the way, Oompa Loompa has made a lot of shows very famous, He's made the Colbert Show.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Alec Baldwin on SNL,
On SNL,
right?
definitely.
He's made CNN much bigger now.
Absolutely.
So he's done a lot for progressive liberal television.
Right.
The failing New York Times
the failing
is really
New York Times
enjoying him.
is having a record year.
Yeah.
And now Bradshaw Live gets to be put on that list because Christy Consali would never have watched Bradshaw Live if it wasn't for the Orange Oompa Loompa.
Silver linings, Brad.
That's correct. She doesn't have any kids. She loves to travel. She loves to go to Caribbean concerts. And she looks forward to the Bradshaw Live every day. And there you have it, Christy Consale. Let's look at her pictures one last time. There she is, very pretty woman out in Philadelphia. We didn't
I like
find
her
out,
locks.
We didn't find out what she did in Philadelphia, did we?
We do not know what her job is.
We do not know, but she loves, her job is watching Bradshaw Live.
And you know what? What a great job it is.
That is right. So meanwhile, Belgium Kim and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, I happen to notice out of the corner of my eye that we have approximately 70 or so people watching on Facebook at the moment, and approximately 60 or so people watching on YouTube, for a total of 130 people.
Yes.
It's a very low audience right now.
It's not a happy audience.
It's not a happy audience. Can you do something about this while I stretch and get ready for schmoozing?
Absolutely. All right, guys. So now we know that we always pretty much start off with a higher count of viewers, and especially on Facebook right now, the way we can get that up back to where we are usually at is with you guys sharing. All you guys have to do is press that little arrow that says share and share it to anybody's page, group page, inbox. You guys have to start sharing because that's how we get the show out. They're over here having the whole meeting without me, but it's all good. Now you guys, please, no, seriously, you guys really have to share because this is the only way we could get the show out. And once you get more viewers, you get more calls. More calls mean better stories, okay? So we need interaction. We need you guys to like, love, laugh, wow, sad face, mad face, whatever you're feeling. And of course, another way of interacting is commenting. We love to hear everything you guys have to say. Thank you. Yep, I'm Men in Black today. Like you guys say, you said that Brad is pretty dapper today. You're saying you love Kim. We love to hear all of that, but also talk about what's going on in the world today, whatever you want to talk about. And of course, the schmoozing that we're talking about and people calling in. We want to hear everything that you guys have to say about that. And of course, start your watch party. That's one new thing. It's not really too new now because we've been doing this for a while and it's definitely been helping a lot. And that's how we're getting so many new people. It's a lot easier than just sharing it to everybody's page one at a time. We definitely want you guys to keep on sharing, but you starting a watch party actually sends a notification to your entire team. All right, and in order to do that, just press exactly where you go to share, that little arrow, and then a couple options down says start a watch party. It's really easy. All right, and what are we gonna do on YouTube, Kimmy?
On YouTube, you guys have an easy job too. The first thing I need you to do is make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button and that little bell right beside it so you know exactly when we go live. Also, make sure that you are sharing the show. It's the #1 best, easiest, most amazing thing you can do for us. And the way that you do that is just by hitting share, copy that link, and paste it everywhere you've got a text field in your phone, family. Whether that's Instagram, whether that's Twitter, whether that is as a Facebook post, whether, more importantly, that's in WhatsApp groups and text messages with all of your people that you trust and that trust you, getting to know that information from you directly. It's the best thing you can do for us. Also, we want to know exactly what you're thinking and feeling. We just found out that today is Cordella Douglas's wedding anniversary. Happy wedding anniversary, Cordella. And the only way we knew that is because she commented. So make sure that if you want anything shouted out, if you want us to talk to you, if you want us to engage, if you just want to engage with the Brad Squad, because that's where the real family's at, you got to make sure to like and comment. YouTube, we see you. You are not as live as Facebook. I want to call you out right now. I need you guys to be liver in the YouTube comments. You know who I'm talking about. As many of you watch as Facebook and way fewer of you comment. Get out of that comment closet, fam. And now is the time you've all been waiting for. It's a good time to get out of that comment closet because we're going to be schmoozing with Brad.
That's right, schmoozing with Brad. The top story of the day, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
Is my reply to Ron J. Roberts.
What?
I lost 83 pounds, Rock J. All right, I am now 106 pounds, dripping wet. I lost. You don't see it because the camera.
It's your bottom half.
Here's my bottom half. I'm not standing up, and the camera always puts on 15, 20 pounds
Right.
as it
At
is. So that should put all of our comments to rest. I lost 81 pounds.
81 pounds.
81 pounds.
You're now at 106
I am now
pounds.
106. We can all rest well.
You did well.
Yes. I was told by my doctor to go to the pizza parlor immediately. I went to the doctor. He goes, "This is an unhealthy weight. Go to the pizza parlor
Oh
immediately."
God, that's a good problem to have now,
Yes,
Brad.
right.
Wow.
Can I get that problem? I
So
want
when
that
you
problem.
saw me at the pizza parlor earlier today, it was because it was
doctor's
doctor's orders.
Medical.
Medical
Completely
necessity.
medical.
It was a medical necessity.
Yes.
Perfect.
Right.
Glad we got that cleared
he
up,
said,
Brad.
he said you need an IV of hamburgers and French fries immediately.
An IV.
An IV of hamburgers and French fries. That's what I just needed.
Which doctor are you seeing? Because I need to go see that doctor. I'm pretty sure his scales are friendlier than my doctor's.
Yes, that's what he said. He said I lost. Yes. So there was a comedian who was like Dr. Vidya Buddha. What was it? It was like maybe Rodney Dangerfield. He used to have a comedy routine. He was like, I went to Dr. Vinny Baduda, something around that. Like some really long.
That's the same doctor you went to,
Same
basically.
doctor, yeah. I forgot what the doctor's name was, but Rodney Dangerfield had a whole shtick about it.
You know what I really want?
What?
I really want a card to pop up that just says Brad's 80s moment of the day. It's just every single time you make an 80s reference, that's not half the time
that
we
picture
get.
come up.
Like,
Kim, I love when we have production meetings live on the air.
Me too. Sorry, Sean.
Yes. All right. So meanwhile, there was a big scare. One person died in Midtown Manhattan today.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, a
did the one
helicopter
person die?
crashed on top of a building on 7th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan,
Yeah.
killing the pilot, starting a fire, halting traffic in all of Midtown. Governor Andrew Cuomo said that the preliminary information indicated that the helicopter was making an emergency landing. He did not know why. When the helicopter was making an emergency landing on the roof of the building. Now, helicopters are no longer allowed to land
Right,
on
that's what
roofs
I
and
thought.
buildings, but this particular building was an old building that had an old helicopter pad on it. So I guess the pilot, when he was flying over Manhattan, was unable to, get control. So he saw this building that had a helicopter. So he tried to pad and he tried to land on it. It was a hard landing. The helicopter blew up in flames. The pilot unfortunately died. I don't know if there were other people in the helicopter or it was him alone. It was just him alone. And it is not a terrorist attack. People thought it was a terrorist attack.
Right.
And Andrew Cuomo said if you are a New Yorker, you have a high level of post-traumatic stress disorder from 9/11. I remember the morning all too well. So people thought perhaps it was a terrorist attack, that somebody was trying to fly a helicopter into a building.
Wow.
So unfortunately, there was that death. I don't understand why helicopters would be allowed to fly over Midtown Manhattan. You want to do sightseeing tours, you can go along the river.
Right.
And if you have to make an emergency landing, you land
You
in the
land
river.
on the river.
Right.
So you are actually no longer allowed.
Why
I
was
believe,
this? Why
to
was this
go.
helicopter?
He was somebody. There was somebody that said that when they saw it take off, there are heliports a couple blocks over on the
Right.
on the west side. And somebody said that when they saw that helicopter take off, he was veering a lot, so it didn't seem like he
had
got
control
the
of it.
control.
He didn't have control of the helicopter. Now, I took a lot of helicopters when I was in Vietnam and Cambodia. I kept getting on the helicopter. And I was going, and I said to Ida, I said,
That's scary.
"Is this safe? You think that?" And she's like, "Yeah, don't worry." But so I was fine. But every
How
time
about now? How you feel?
Yeah, but now I'm like, you come back to America, you're like, helicopters are crashing in New York City.
100%.
You would think it would be safer here, right?
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Well, and we had talked about that helicopter
Yeah.
tour even last year, where several people died. It crashed in the Hudson,
That's right.
and several people died. So
but
it's scary.
they
Oh,
would have
hell no.
survived, but for that their harness that was strapped in, they were unable to get out of their
Right,
harness.
yeah.
They had
Ooh.
harnesses that they weren't able to get out
Right.
of.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump is back in Washington, D.C., and he's celebrating his great success on these border policies with Mexico.
Right.
He was going to tariff every Mexican product that came into America, 5% in June, 10% in July, until the Mexicans got tough on immigration.
Right.
And what he wanted the Mexicans to do is to put an army on the southern border of Mexico, between Mexico and Central America, and prevent Central Americans from even entering in Mexico. And he also wanted Mexico to accept back any asylum seekers that were trying to apply for asylum in the United States, that Mexico should absorb them first.
Right.
Mexico, according to Donald Trump, agreed to all of this, and it was a great success. He made Mexico blink. It was high drama negotiations, except the New York Times already has reported that Mexico and the United States already agreed to all of this more than a year ago.
Of course.
So Donald Trump basically, again,
Right.
made a crisis,
Right.
went and had a conversation,
Right.
claimed
So
he fixed the
annoying.
crisis when there was never a crisis and nothing fixed to begin with. Similar to North Korea, when he made the crisis with Rocket Man, and then he went and met Rocket Man, said, I have an agreement, there's going to be, we can all sleep well at night,
Right.
Right.
yet there's no agreement and everything is still the same. Hashtag false news. Now, Trump has disputed this hashtag false news
Right.
from the New York Times. He calls them the enemy of the people. He says another false report in the New York Times. But the Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard agreed with the New York Times and said there was no secret immigration deal between the United States and Mexico. It was already agreed upon a long time ago.
That's amazing.
Now, if anybody remembers, Donald Trump has called the New York Times on a daily basis fake news.
Right, 100%.
And much of their news that he called fake,
Right.
including a lot of their reporting on the Mueller report, turned out to be true.
Absolutely.
Okay? So every time he says fake news, New York Times, and attacks the New York Times, I tend to now believe the New York Times.
Right.
Right.
Because every time he has attacked the New York Times and said fake news, they're the enemy of the people, it turns out that they are the supporters of the people.
Absolutely.
They are the protectors of the people.
Absolutely.
And that's what a free press does.
The New York Times and journalism in general, I feel like, does not have any motive to lie to the American people for the most part. Like these kinds of bastions of independent journalism.
So now Trump has put the U.S. military down on the border, right? And they're now protecting the border. But they don't have as much to do as people think.
Okay.
So he's taking part of the military and he's now turning them into painting recruits.
What?
Painting recruits. That a lot of the recruits now, a lot of the enlisted men and women who are going down to protect the border
Right.
are in essence taking paint cans and painting the southern wall between Mexico and the United States
Oh my
to
God.
improve the aesthetic appearance of the wall, according to an email sent by the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh my God.
Now, Senator Dick Durbin, an Illinois Democrat, confirmed the plan in a tweet this week. He said the Department of Homeland Security informed Congress today that troops are going to spend the next month painting the border wall, and the primary purpose is to improve the aesthetic appearance. A disgraceful misuse of taxpayers' dollars. Our military has more important work to do than making Donald Trump's wall beautiful.
Good for him. He's absolutely right.
Now, Donald Trump, when he's not building a beautiful wall
Right.
and making the military paint it, has now prompted a state of confusion over Space Force and NASA.
What?
Yes, there's some confusion now. So he's very upset that about his own administration's plans to send astronauts to Mars and the Moon. He tweeted, "For all of the money we are spending, NASA should not be talking about going to the Moon. We already did that 50 years ago. They should be focused on the much bigger things we are doing, going to Mars and space defense and science." The tweet had stargazers scratching their head,
Wait,
as the Moon is not part of Mars.
including
And the tweet contradicted the president's previous statements about his plans to send humans back to the Moon.
Including Mars, of which the moon is a part of?
Yes. Now, hours after Trump's tweet, NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, who has said that NASA already has plans to send people to a test flight around the moon by 2022, he sent out a tweet saying, at POTUS, at NASA is using the moon to send humans to Mars. Right now, at Mars Curiosity and at NASA InSight are on Mars and will soon be joined by the Mars 2020 rover.
Wow.
So basically, how it works is this. Okay, you got to get out of. You can't make a straight flight.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta have a layover somewhere. Okay, you can't make a straight flight to
Mars.
Okay, you can't make a straight flight from New York to Hanoi, Vietnam.
Right.
Okay, impossible. Doesn't exist. Okay, there's no direct flight,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no direct flight from NASA to Mars.
Right.
You got to change planes on the moon. That's
On the
basic
moon.
on the moon. So the plan is, Donald Trump, if you read your own administration's plans
Look at that.
to reach Mars, right there, that's right.
That's the part.
That's the
during
part,
the,
right.
That's during
you got,
the layover.
You got to colonize the moon,
Right.
and then blast off from the moon to Mars, because I guess the Earth's gravity is, and it's too far for the Earth's gravity to pull all the way up from the Earth all the way to Mars. So you got to change planes. But Donald Trump
Or
doesn't seem
rockets.
to know that. Or rockets.
Would you go to Mars?
I would not.
No.
I would not.
Would you?
I had a concern about going on a helicopter about 2 weeks ago. All right. I don't know if I would be going to Mars.
I
There's
feel.
no way in hell
Yes.
that I would.
And it would be so much money. If you had that much money, like if you had $1 million to go on vacation, I just don't think I'd strap myself to a nuclear warhead and shoot myself off into space
How the hell
for
is
that.
Mars
Belgium Kim,
vacation?
there's so many great places in the world that I haven't seen yet.
Exactly.
And if I had $1 million to go
Right.
spend on a vacation
Right.
and blow it for a year,
Yeah.
I am going to see everything on
Okay.
this earth
On this
first.
earth.
And live like
right.
a king.
And live like a king.
A king. $1 million
Right.
to travel.
How do you think you would live in Mars? You're like, oh, I can't breathe in
Right.
this place.
My
Right.
God.
Right, you ever go to like a really hot place?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you're like, oh my God, I can't breathe. Where's the air conditioning, right?
You don't come back with a tan?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah,
Where's the
nothing to show
beach?
for it.
Yeah,
You're
What's-
like, where's the beach on Mars, right?
What's the weather like out there?
What's the weather? It's cold.
Yeah.
Very,
how
very cold.
So what? You
Like
have
when
to,
it gets like you have to be like indoors and in a spacesuit. It's so cold, or you would freeze to death.
So Sunday's weather, if we guys
On
were,
Mars.
how was Sunday on Mars?
Yeah.
They had a high of 2 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes.
With a low of 138 degrees below
Yes.
zero.
Yes, and apparently climate change is happening there as well.
Right.
Because last year it was 3 degrees.
Right.
And 101. So
right.
How are you
right,
supposed
so-
to have Sunday fun day with that type of weather?
Yeah, like what is what?
You
Let me
can't.
tell you what you do. You stay in bed. You stay under the covers, and you're like, babe. It's minus 107. I know we're on vacation, but you know what? Let's just make some Mars babies, right? Because that's all you can do.
That's the only thing you can do.
the only thing
and
you can
honestly,
do.
you can do that in your New York City apartment.
That's right.
You can-
do it in
Or
the
your
park
apartment
if you want.
anywhere, and you can walk outside, right?
Right, you can go.
For all of those reasons, Belgium Kim,
We won't.
We're not going
we
to
will
go.
not be going to Mars. For
Good
all
call,
of them.
team.
For all of them.
Sorry,
This
guys.
is a rational team, you
Yeah,
guys.
that's right.
This is a rational team.
Meanwhile, there are no rainbow flags that are going to fly at the U.S. embassies this year. You know, the rainbow flags celebrate
Really?
LGBTQ
Yes.
Pride Month. All 3 different diplomats have told NBC News. The U.S. embassies in Israel, Germany, Brazil, and Latvia are among those that have requested permission from Donald Trump's State Department to fly the LGBTQ Pride flags at their flagpoles. Donald Trump has
Oh my
denied
God.
them.
Wow.
This is now in direct contrast to the campaign Trump launched just 10 days ago to decriminalize homosexuality. As we celebrate overseas, I was about to say, since when is homosexuality illegal in America?
Overseas.
Overseas.
Yeah.
So he tweeted 10 days ago, As we celebrate LGBT Pride Month and recognize the outstanding contributions LGBT people have made to our great nation, let us also stand in solidarity with the many LGBT people who live in dozens of countries worldwide that punish, imprison, or even execute individuals on the basis of their sexual orientation. My administration has launched a global campaign to decriminalize homosexuality, and invite all nations to join us in this effort. The entire campaign was his tweet. He's done absolutely nothing else, including standing by the LGBT community by flying their flag in recognition of LGBTQ Pride Month.
That's not even a policy thing.
That's not even a policy. It's just like, he just tweets and doesn't do anything.
Right.
It's amazing.
Oh my God.
He just thinks if he tweets, it happens. It's like it's an alternative universe.
But then takes steps to go against exactly what he tweeted just 10 days ago.
I'll be surprised.
Now, in a bizarre tweet.
Yeah.
All right, going to a little news here, a little entertainment news.
Ooh.
Did you see this, Yo-Yo?
What was
On
it?
Sunday, Justin Bieber challenged Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon.
No.
And appeared to try and provoke the actor. The Biebs, he says in a tweet, I want to challenge Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon. Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared and you will never live it down. Who's willing to put on the fight at Dana White? Now, the tweet went viral, and MMA fighter Conor McGregor announced that his company would host the fight and even challenged Mark Wahlberg on the same card. So McGregor wants to fight Wahlberg. Biebs wants to fight Tom Cruise. And Oddshark, which is a source for online handicapping, tweeted, "We don't like your odds, Biebs." And they put Bieber losing to Cruz 2-1, Cruz winning 2-1.
Oh my God!
Now I got a.
Who is that?
Yeah,
is that Bieber?
That's Bieber in the ring.
That's Bieber in the ring, just getting clobbered.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Now I got somebody slid into my DM earlier today, and they said if they want to know if anybody from our show wanted to be on the undercard to this Cruz Biebs fight.
Right.
And they suggested Brad Yo-Yo, and I said, no. Brad and Yo-Yo not getting the octagon. Yo-Yo's twice my size.
Right.
Okay, since I've lost 86 pounds, I'm 106 dripping wet.
It's a completely different weight class.
But what was suggested was that Brad and Belgium Kim in the octagon fighting to death. I said, that's a fair fight. That's a fair fight, right?
You with it?
That works because I'm actually 108 pounds soaking wet, so we're in the same weight class. I'm 100% in, Brad. Anytime you want, let's throw it out. We can get those big sumo suits. They're still in my Amazon cart.
Oh, I'm still
we were
trying
supposed to fight in the sumo suit or something.
I'm still trying to do that.
Whatever. We forget all the things we were supposed to do.
No, they didn't share enough. They didn't earn it.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
It just lingered in my cart for weeks.
Do you remember the times when we used to bribe people?
Yes.
All right. For those who were just watching new, like a year ago, we used to bribe people to share when we didn't have a lot of viewers.
Absolutely.
And we're like, share, and if you share, like Belgium Kim and Brad and Yo-Yo, we're all gonna get in the ring in big sumo inflatable suits and fight each other.
100%.
And we were like, and we said, if you get to 500 shares, we're gonna do it. Remember?
Right.
Yep.
I was just gonna be the card girl.
That was gonna be so much fun.
Right, and then
I really wanted to do that too.
And then everybody was like, come on, we want to see this. Come on, we want to see this. The only thing that got people to share was me twerking.
Yeah,
right.
God.
That was the only thing that ever got people.
Other.
Nothing else.
And let me tell you, you really paid that debt, Brad.
Yeah.
You really paid that debt.
And finally, Yonathan and Belgium Kim, before we get to our immigration questions, it's reported by I don't know who's reporting this, but some economist, some economic outlet or newspaper is reporting that the marijuana industry is going to surpass the NFL in total revenue in 2020.
Wow.
Yes. Starting with Colorado, it is now legal in 37 states, although the federal government has not legalized it. In 2018, revenue from both legal, recreational, and medical marijuana in the United States was pegged at $8.6 billion to $10 billion in revenue.
Dang.
Now, in a bit of irony, sales at Taco Bell is $15 billion, and they suspect that marijuana will beat Taco Bell next year.
Wow.
So you can smoke your weed, and then go to Taco
Go to Taco
Bell.
Bell.
So if more people are smoking weed, maybe Taco Bell's revenues are going to go through the roof.
That's a good point. It's going to stay on par. They're just going to keep going.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, you know what? I'm going long on Taco Bell, right? Right? The more marijuana becomes legal, it's Taco Bell and White Castle. I'm going long on it.
It's true. Don't invest in the marijuana.
Yeah, you'll invest in everything else, in the munchies after. Right. Now, Jill whispered in my ear. It was from. Tell me what who made this report, Jill? Again, the marijuana who? The marijuana business fact check, whatever that is. It was from the marijuana business fact check. Now, according to the report, legal marijuana is going to create a $39 to $48 billion economy next year, and will surpass $100 billion in 2023 in legal marijuana sales.
That's crazy.
Now, about 20% of adult Americans are using some form of marijuana. So at the moment, we have 225 people watching. At least 50 people are getting baked.
100%.
Who are watching right now. At least 50 of you out there right now, according to this report, are absolutely getting baked.
But
and they're laughing their asses off watching us, right? They're laughing their asses off watching us.
But Brad, are they getting baked or are they helping the economy?
I don't know.
I got you, fam. I got you, fam.
I don't know. But this is all going to surpass the revenue for the NFL.
Yeah, it's the Marijuana Business Fact Book from MJ Biz Daily, this report.
And that is all the news that we have to schmooze about today. Belgium Kim, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, please tell people to share this once. Okay, tell them to put their pipes down, put their weed down for a minute. Just put the weed down and share a little bit.
That's true, fam. It doesn't matter what you're doing, how you're doing, or who you're doing. You can share the show right now. Just make sure that your very first thing that you do is like our page and hit that little bell right beside that like button, because it's going to let you know every single time we go live, for real, not Bracho live time. Also, make sure that you are sharing the show. It's the easiest, biggest thing that you can do for us as contributors to the show. All you got to do is hit the share button and share it as a private message. Share it onto your own timeline. Make sure to share it to groups that you're members of, whether that's in DMs or real Facebook groups. And of course, make sure that you start a watch party, fam. If you start a watch party, it'll send a notification out to every single one of your friends that you're watching right now. They'll be like, hey, I want to come join with you and watch with you. It'll be so much fun. And we're watching, and it's a party, watch party. Also, make sure to tell us everything you think and feel in the comments about what's going on, because you know we're about to answer some crazy calls, so you know you're going to have feelings. And make sure to let us know in the comments. On YouTube, what you doing, you Yo-Yo?
On YouTube, you guys also have to get put to work.
By the way, Yo-Yo, I'm just laughing at Lisa Bling Rose's comment.
What'd
She's
she
like,
say?
put the weed down and share, people. Then go back and smoke.
Actually, you guys could do it all at the same time.
That's true.
All right?
That's true.
I'm
Phone
sure,
in one hand, whatever you need.
I'm sure you guys are multitasking. You know, you could do it. You guys could do it. So, no, seriously, on YouTube, we definitely need you guys to share on YouTube, because that has been going really well. Our subscriber count has been going skyrocketing, and that's all because of you. So keep on sharing. And all you have to do is copy the link and send it exactly how you've been doing it. You can send it directly to your social media, or you can copy the link and send it in a WhatsApp group. Just create a group or a couple of groups of people and send it out there. GroupMe is also another amazing way to send out the YouTube page. But make sure when you guys send it, you tell everybody to subscribe. That's one of the most important things that they need to do. They need to press that little button, subscribe, and press the little notifications, because you guys will find out anytime we come on, or any other videos that we actually upload. Because it's not just the show that goes on YouTube. We actually upload different pieces, and it helps out a lot, all right? It helps you guys, it helps us to get the show out, all right? And also, you guys have to comment. Interaction is huge. And we're about to answer some questions now through the phone lines, but right after that, we're gonna go to the social media questions. So I need you guys to put in all your questions right there if you don't wanna call in. And lastly, everybody watching right now, press that thumbs up. Every single one of you guys, if you love this show, show the love to Brad and press the thumbs up. All right, and now for our next segment, This is when you guys call with all of your questions, and Brad answers them with getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, so we have Tammy from Gulfport, Mississippi. Tammy.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do to help?
Well, I'm going to Pakistan in the next couple of weeks. I got my visa to go. I'm going to get married there, and I'm going to be there for 3 months. Can I hire you guys while I'm abroad?
Yes, you can.
Do all the paperwork?
Yes, and as a matter of fact,
to be in the States?
No, you don't have to be in the States. And what I would suggest you do is this: hire us before you go, and we'll give you all the paperwork to bring to your spouse to sign. You'll have your part here, and then when you get married, all you have to do is literally email us your marriage certificate. And while you're enjoying your honeymoon and your new marriage to your man, we'll have your application filed. Now, the reason you want to get it in so fast is Trump slows everything down, but he puts everything in the mud for Pakistan, literally. So this is it's going to be a process to get your man here, your husband here, but we'll get it done for you. So hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
You're welcome. Let's go to Samantha in Atlanta, Georgia. Samantha.
Hello.
Hi, Samantha.
Hello.
Samantha. Hello. Hello. Hi. Belgium Kim. How long should I wait for Samantha? She's been waiting so long.
How many minutes?
Samantha,
She's waiting like 20 minutes, but I'm like 45 seconds into my telephone call with her.
Samantha!
Put on hold.
Damn. On hold she goes.
Dang it!
Get ready, Samantha.
Dang it!
We should try to check in with Samantha after every single call now.
When I was on the Dang River in Vietnam, I just woke up saying, dang it, dang it, dang it, over everything. Didn't make me feel any better, but I love saying it. All right, let's go to Chris. Chris in Tennessee.
Hello?
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Brad?
Good, good. Where in Tennessee you live?
Manfest,
Tennessee. Okay, what's going on?
Hi. I would like to first of all thank you for everything you guys are doing.
My pleasure.
I'm really grateful.
My pleasure.
You guys. And yes, what I have, my situation is that I came to the United States since 2014, and I applied for asylum.
Right.
And after that, I had an interview on back in 2018.
Right.
And I was placed under a removal procedure. And later on 2018, I had my master calendar. And I met with the judge, and we had a second hearing because at the first time I didn't have no lawyer. So the second hearing, I was able to get a lawyer, and I met. Before that, I also met my wife back in 2015.
Okay, so what happened? So what happened?
Okay, what happened is we had to, on the second hearing, we had to withdraw the asylum.
Right, and you got married to a woman, and you had to file an I-130 visa petition. And did you go on that interview for the I-130 visa petition? And they separated you into two different rooms.
Yes, we did the I-130.
Okay, and they separated you. Was the I-130 approved?
The I-130 is still pending.
It's still pending. Okay, so your all right. So your question is this, because I'm trying to get the question out. So the question is: you're in removal. You had applied for asylum. You withdrew the asylum. You were married to a U.S. citizen. The judge says, "Okay, file the I-130. Get your I-130 approved. Let's prove it's a real marriage." You went on that interview. It's still pending for how long now?
We applied. They received the I-130 application back in 18th of October of.
Okay, so you haven't gone on your interview yet.
Yes, they recently received a letter from them saying that they transferred to another
Okay.
jurisdiction.
So what is
to be
your
able to
what
speed
is?
up.
Tell me what the question is. You want to know when you're going to go on your interview?
my-
What you should do?
My question is, my work authorization that I have right now is under the asylum.
Right.
Based on that. But since that one is withdrawn and the work authorization is about to expire, so I won't be able to work anymore.
Right.
And I wanted to know, is there any way I could get a work authorization under the I-130 or not?
Well, you would have to you can't get it under the I-130 unless you file an adjustment. So what you would need to do is make a motion back to the judge to calendar your case and explain to the judge either you want to continue with the asylum temporarily until the I-130 is approved, or allow you to file an adjustment application, allow the judge to accept an adjustment application, so then you can get your work permit for the adjustment. But you have to do it all through the judge. If you just file an adjustment now, they're going to deny it because you're in removal. So what you need to do is you need to recalendar, explain it to the judge, and then let the judge tell you the procedure to go through.
Yes, on the second hearing, the judge asked me if I would like to proceed with the marriage. That way, I would have to withdraw.
That's fine. I just told you the answer. So the answer is recalendar means your lawyer writes a motion and says, Judge, I want to get back in front of you on this case. And when I get back in front of you, I want to tell you about my client's problem. And my client doesn't have a work permit now. And that's not fair. So let's do something about it. That's what has to happen. And if you need help, hold on.
Yes,
all right? Hold on if you need help. All right, let's go to Ike in Chicago. Ike.
Yeah, this is Ike.
How are you, Ike?
All right, how are you?
Good, good.
Okay, I'm a citizen and I'm physically disabled. I'm blind.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm trying to apply for a girlfriend that is here on a visiting visa. I want to marry her.
Okay.
And I want to apply tariffs for her.
Right.
And I'm trying to see if it's possible, if I will have any problem applying for her because I'm receiving SSI.
No, because you're receiving SSI because of a disability. That is not a need-based government assistance. That's disability because of your medical condition. So, so that would not be a problem in getting married and filing. You would file an affidavit of support for her. If your disability payments are enough, wonderful. If they're not enough, you would get a second affidavit of support from someone else.
Okay. And do I need a spouse, a sponsor affidavit?
You as a spouse have to do an affidavit of support no matter what. But you may need a second affidavit of support if your income is not enough based on the disability, which I don't know. Do you want to share what you earn in disability, or you don't want to tell the world?
Oh, the disability is seven something.
$700 and something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that your only income that you get?
Yeah.
All right. So you don't earn enough because that's about $9,077, $8,400 a year. So that's below the poverty level. So you would need a second affidavit of support from someone else.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
And I got one more question.
Oh, go ahead.
Will I be able to file for my daughter to come from out of the country?
Yes, but you will need an affidavit of support for her down the line too. If she's above the age, it's not for another 5, 6, 7 years. If she's under 21, you'll need it now.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Let's go to Ricardo in Brooklyn. Ricardo.
Hi, sir.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I'm fine. I have a question for a friend.
Yes.
He recently received his green card.
Great.
10 here, and he was wondering if he could file for his son in Jamaica.
Yes, as long as the son is single.
Yes, he's single,
Yep.
and I think he's about like 18 at this time.
Yes, do it. How do you get his green card?
Through marriage.
Well, why doesn't his wife file for him? Because if the wife's a citizen, the son will get here in about a year. If he files, the son won't be here for about 7 years.
Oh, shoot. Oh,
Okay. So let the wife file.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Stella in Indianapolis, Indiana. Stella.
Hello.
Hi, Stella.
I'm speaking on behalf of Stella.
Oh, you're speaking on behalf of Stella. Okay.
Yeah, I'm her son.
Okay. What's up?
So Stella has 2 or 3 questions to ask you about. Okay. So the first one is, so she got her 10-year green card like last month or so.
Right.
Her 10-year green card.
Right.
And then she's trying to file for her 2 other children to come to the United States.
Right.
Yeah. But
all right, so how did she get her green card?
She got filed.
By who?
By her brother.
Okay, how old are the kids? How old are her children?
Okay. How old are your children? The first one is 18 years old.
Right.
And the second one is 12 years old.
Okay. So if the brother filed for Stella, which is your uncle and her brother, all of her children under the age of 21 are included in that case. So what Stella needs to do is she can do it herself, or she can get a lawyer to do it if she's not sure what to do. But somebody has to contact, she doesn't have to refile for the children. Somebody has to contact the National Visa Center or even the U.S. Embassy, depending on where the file is, and ask for following to join applications for the 18-year-old and the 12-year-old. What happened? We went on. We lost Stella's son. What happened to Stella's son?
Hopefully they call back.
I don't know what happened. All right, let's go to Frank in New York, New York. Frank.
Hello?
Hold on one second. We're going to get back to Stella's son. Stella's son, how are you? What happened to you?
Sorry for ending the phone.
Okay. All right, so they're following to join. So they can come immediately. Once they reach 21, they're out of luck. So you have an 18 and a 14, you got to do it now. And you got to contact the U.S. Embassy and say, I want these children to follow to join, send me the applications. And if you're not sure how to contact them or what to say, then you're going to need an attorney.
Okay. So the other question is that she's applied for citizenship twice, but failed the 2 times. So she's wondering if you could help her with the citizenship process.
Well, I can. It depends why she failed. So if she failed because she can't read or write, I can't teach her to read or write. If she failed because she didn't know the government history, she's got to study. So it depends why she failed.
Okay.
All right.
Any questions? Please hold on.
But let me help her let me help her. I'm going to put you on hold. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. Make an appointment if you want. Let me help her get her children here. That's most important. So hold on one second. All right. Let's go to Frank in New York. Frank.
Hello, this is Frank.
How are you?
Hello, good evening. I'm good.
Good evening. What's going on?
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm listening.
Hello?
I'm listening, Frank.
Okay. I have a question I want to ask.
What is the question?
Because I went for interview, so that was August 2018.
You work for who?
I went for interview.
Oh, you went for an interview?
Yeah,
based on what?
2018.
Based on what?
Sorry, hello?
Frank, ask your question. Don't say hello, I'm listening.
Hold on.
No, I'm not holding on,
Hello?
Frank. Come on.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Frank, come on. Someone get Frank. Listen, when you call, don't keep saying, hello, 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 you there? I'm here. Okay? I just talked to Frank for 3 minutes, and all I heard was, hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Are you there? I'm here. Just ask your question. If you don't hear a response, then I'm not there. All right, it's quite simple, right?
It's actually fair.
Right? All right, let's go to Andre in Long Island. I'll go back to Frank in a minute. Andre.
Hi, Brad.
How are you doing?
Andre.
What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question. My girlfriend in Jamaica.
Yes.
She wants to come and visit me but she don't know what to tell the immigration officer in Jamaica if she should say she's going to visit her boyfriend or she's going to visit a family member.
Well, if she says
So
she's
what's
going to
the
visit,
best
if she said she's going to visit her boyfriend, most likely going to deny her, and they're going to say you're going to marry your boyfriend. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully she has other reasons to visit other than visit you. Most importantly, she has to show that she's going to return to her home country. And I don't want her to lie and say what her purpose is, and lie and say something different. I'm just saying, saying you're going to visit your boyfriend is probably not the best way to get a visa. But you need to prove that you're going to return home. That's more important than anything. All right. So
she has a child in Jamaica, and
all right. So leaving a child behind is a good reason to return. All right.
Yeah.
And she needs a good job. She needs property.
She don't have a job.
All right. Well, if she doesn't have a job, she's unlikely to get a visa. That I can.
She's
tell
not
you.
going to get it.
I'm not saying she's not going to get it. I said she's unlikely to get it. Because people with no jobs between the ages of 20 and 40 who are single, even if they leave a kid behind, are generally coming to look for a job in America. That's what the embassy believes. I'm not saying she won't get it. I'm saying unlikely. All right, hold on one second. Let's go back to Frank. Frank, you there? Now I'm going to give it to Frank. Frank, you hear me? Hello? Hello? Frank? How many times am I going to try with Frank?
That's it.
That's it for Frank.
That's it for Frank.
All right. Samantha, how are you? Samantha?
Yes.
How are
good
you?
Evening.
Good evening.
Fine, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
My mom, she filed for a family member about 5 years ago, but during the process, she passed.
Okay.
And my question, and then we asked, what is the position? And they said they closed the file and they handed it over to another department.
Who filed for who again?
Mother
filed for who? Filed for who?
Filed
Children?
for her daughter.
Okay. What
And,
what other family does the daughter have here in America?
She has another daughter.
Okay.
In America.
That
daughter filed for the mother, and the mother filed for another daughter.
Okay.
But during the process, she died.
I got it. Just answer the questions, please. So you have a mom who filed, who died. The I-130 was approved, and she has another close relative who's her sister. Okay. How old is this child or adult? Is this child in America or in another country?
In America.
Okay. So there's something called 204L that allows a family member to substitute in for a deceased petitioner if the person who is the beneficiary is in the United States of America when the death of the petitioner happened. And so basically, as long as this daughter, who is the person getting the green card, was in America when mom died, the I-130 was approved, and she has a sister who can substitute in. And she then you under Section 204L, the sister can substitute in the shoes of the mom and reinstate the case.
Oh.
All right. So hold on 1 second. We can help. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right. All right. I'm going to try Frank one more time.
One more.
Okay. All right. And if not, then Frank just burns us.
Right.
I don't want to be burned by Frank.
We're going to feel burned.
I will feel burned by Frank. 3 times burned by him.
Don't make us feel burned, Frank.
What do you think?
I got the aloe out just
All right.
in case.
Do you think? What do you think is more likely? Frank will be able to ask his question succinctly without saying hello. Are you there? Or will the Biebs beat Tom Cruise? What is more likely?
He's gonna ask this question.
He's gonna ask. I think so too.
I hope so.
Frank.
This is Frank.
This is Frank. This is Brad. Now, Frank, what is your question?
I have a question to ask.
I know.
I went for interview last year, 2018 August. And after the interview, they made me a letter. I think that was like October. They said my marriage back home was not properly divorced.
Okay, so they said you were bigamist.
Because of that, they said my marriage here may not continue.
Correct.
With my green card process. So I've been having that issue since last year.
All right, so this is how you
And
solve it.
because of that,
Okay.
my lawyer asked me to go divorce,
Right.
like back home,
No.
and do another divorce.
No, Frank, you can get a divorce right
So-
here. Frank, you can get
This is Frank talking.
What? Frank.
Can you hear me? This is Frank. Right? Frank is online.
Frank's on the line? I didn't know that. Frank, listen to me now.
I'm right here.
You can get a divorce here in New York. It'll only take
I
a
thought
few
I'm right
months. Oh, Frank, come on. Just have a consultation. I'm just going to have a consultation. Just listen, Frank, and go back and listen. Frank, you can get a divorce here in New York. You're a bigamist. You're married in Africa. You're married here in America. Yes, you can do a divorce in Africa, but it'll take forever. If you've been in New York for more than 2 years, and it sounds like you have been, you do a divorce in New York. It'll take a few months. You will be divorced. Then you go back and remarry your spouse, and then you refile again. That is the solution, Frank. Come see me. Daniel in San Francisco.
Yeah, hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I got a question. I'm about to do adjustment of status for my wife,
Right.
but last year I did not make enough. So I have a friend. He's gonna be a joint sponsor
Right.
to the case. But I just wonder how many tax year return do I need from him?
3.
It's just 1 year, the last year, or
No,
3?
3 years.
But she's already here, though.
3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andre in Long Island. Andre.
No, I don't put one on the meat.
Andre.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
I have another question, right?
Yes.
I got arrested, and I was charged with a felony.
Right.
And I went and applied, renew my green card, and I got it. And I was just wondering if they have it is on my record or something, because I still got the green card.
When did you get your green card?
Last year.
And when did you have this felony?
Like in 2013.
What was it for?
Risk of injury to a minor.
And you didn't need a waiver? Did they know about it?
I don't know, but I got a letter from the state of Connecticut that they want to expunge my record.
All right.
That they
So it sounds like, Andre, sounds like you filed an adjustment application, never notified immigration that you had an arrest record. They didn't catch it, and you got a green card incorrectly. So it sounds to me that you have an enormous, enormous problem. Hold on. Yeah, is right. Hold on 1 second. You have a big problem, based on what you told me. You need help. Don't say any more. Just be quiet now.
Okay.
Be quiet. Just make it a point.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Kenrick in Clearwater, Florida. Kenrick.
Hello.
Kenrick.
Yes, good day, Mr.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
So my question is, so my wife is doing a travel job as a nurse. Travel nurse?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I want to know, I came here in 2017 and I did a adjustment of status.
Right.
And then I want to lift my condition. I got a 2-year condition.
Right.
Would it affect me if I were to go on an interview based on being a travel nurse job and maybe come on the interview?
The best I heard of your question is you have a 2-year green card and your wife's a travel nurse, so you don't live together with her often. You got to live together. You got to live together with her. Frank, you got to take a step to the right, pull your knees in, and jump, because I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Now I do. I'm calling you Frank. I got Frank on my head. Kenrick, excuse me. Now I hear you better. So you have a 2-year green card, Kenrick.
Yes.
And you have a 2-year green card. Your wife's a travel nurse, so you don't live with her? What's going on?
No. Since I'm lady, she get that travel nurse job because where she was working and she wasn't happy there. So
right.
So she get this travel nurse job, and right now she's in New Hampshire. And I want to know if I'm to do an interview, would it affect us?
Yes, because you're not living together. Not to say you'll be denied, but if you ask me, will it affect you? Absolutely, because immigration's trained to interview you to determine whether you live together, whether you have an economic relationship. And perhaps you have an economic relationship, but you're not living together full time, so they're going to question it. It will definitely affect you. It doesn't mean you won't get through, just more problems, more layers to go through.
Okay, I see.
All right, so hold on. You may need some professional help. And you're
I
talking.
have a second question.
You have a second question.
So,
I have a second answer.
Okay, so my second question is, my son, he came here also on the same condition, but she filed for it.
Right.
But he came up here like a year after I came.
He would have to file a separate application.
Yeah, but I know that much. But would he have to do the same thing? Do the thing all over again, like biometrics and all those things?
Yes.
Do you have to do all of that all over again?
Yeah.
Oh, and do I have to do all of that all over again, biometric and all those?
Yeah.
Thing all over again?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I see. Thank you then.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thanks.
All right. So, woo! That Frank had me in a deep sweat.
I know.
He was sweat-worthy.
He had me in a deep sweat.
Sweat-worthy.
Hello? Hello?
This is Frank.
I'm here. This is Frank. I know Frank. So meanwhile, the Washington Post recently reported that ICE is holding more than $200 million in bond money from immigrants who have been in custody. Now, according to the data, more than 18,000 bond payments went unclaimed between 2014 and 2018, money that came from immigrants as well as United States citizens. Now, for those people who paid a bond and you went through the case, whether you won or lost, you're entitled to it back. Bond is just to make sure you show up to court. As long as you showed up to court, you did your thing, you're entitled to your money back, whoever put it up. Now, our Miami field correspondent has something to say about this, and that just doesn't make any sense.
Hey friends from the Brad Show Live, I'm Anna Ascona. ICE is holding more than $200 million in bond money that belongs to immigrants who have been in custody. This cash is still pending to be returned to thousands of families, and who knows if they'll even get it back. Some of these families include citizens and some are immigrants themselves. But it's still not okay to hold on to large amounts of money from these families that who knows the sacrifices they had to make to collect this money. The amount of money grew by 57.3 million between 2014 through 2018. So where is all this money going to? According to officials, getting this money back to these families has been a mission due to the fact that they have made several attempts to reach some of these people and have not been able to get a hold of them. But it was so easy for them to get a hold of them when it was time to collect the bond payment, right? According to ICE, once the claim is made, they will receive their money within a month. But ICE did not provide wait times to claim their money. But some individuals have said they waited a year or longer after submitting for reimbursement. I'm just saying it's not okay to mess with people's money or to hold it for months and maybe even years. Or maybe forever. Do they understand that some of these families and friends have used all of their savings to secure an immigrant's temporary freedom without knowing if they'll even get this money back? Also, to claim for reimbursement, this means they'll need to hire an attorney. And who knows, after spending all that money in bond payments, if they even have the funds to afford an attorney. So now what are they supposed to do in this situation? The reimbursement process should not be a nightmare. It should be just as easy as it was when collecting the money. This just doesn't make any sense, and I hope these families some way and somehow get their money back.
It is the immigrant of the day is Indra Nooyi. She is the PepsiCo former CEO. She was born in Madras, India in 1955. Her determination to study in the United States brought her to Yale, and despite financial aid from Yale, Nooyi worked nights as a receptionist. After graduating, she went in for interviews wearing a sari, or sari or a sari?
A sari.
Sari, because she didn't have enough money to buy other clothes. Now, during her tenure at Pepsi, she was a major part of reshaping the Pepsi brand, overseeing acquisitions like Quaker Oats and Tropicana. She became the CEO of Pepsi in 2001. In 2018, she was named one of the best CEOs in the world by CEO World magazine, and Forbes magazine ranked Nooyi on the 2008 through 2017 lists of the world's 100 most powerful women. She stepped down as CEO in 2016. She's on the seat of the board of directors of Amazon and Madras-born, Indian-born, 1955, Indra Nooyi, our immigrant of the day, celebrating immigrant heritage.
That is pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome, right?
Top
Yes,
CEOs.
but we don't want you here.
Right.
We're full. Sorry, go back and make India rich.
Seriously.
Right. Go back and make India rich.
No, keep growing American
Yeah,
companies.
don't
and
make
giving
America
Americans
great.
jobs.
We don't want to make America great. Go back and make India rich.
God, it's crazy. And it's crazy how much she expanded Pepsi while she was there.
That's
Can you
right.
imagine how many jobs for Americans she must have created by
Right.
expanding PepsiCo?
Yeah. And you want to know what? Now that I lost all this weight, I had to go to the pizza place. I had a Pepsi with the pizza.
You had
today.
to. Oh,
goodness
Thank you, Indra. I had my Pepsi today. All right, and with that, we have to do something we like to call here social media check-in.
Our first question is from Samina, who said, "Does applying for a Medicaid case deny a reason for denial of citizenship in Trump's government?"
No, it's not.
Marlene Rossi is saying she's asking for a friend. If the American citizens stop a filing process with NBC, what happens to the case?
That's it.
Tina said that she filed the I-130. Her husband is in Nigeria, and in March she received a receipt but has gotten nothing else. The Texas office has received the filing, but why haven't they gotten an approval or a denial yet?
Because this is Trump's America, and it takes almost a year now.
Felix Michelle saying, hey, Brad, the date for filing in June 2019 visa bulletin is currently March 2019 for the F2A category. What does this mean? If my priority date is July 2018, does this mean I can put together my documents to adjust my status because she's currently living in the USA? Or do I have to wait for the NVC to write me and request that I submit the documents?
Well, right now they're actually for final action dates. They're July 15th, 2017. The March 8th, 2019 date means that if you are in legal status here, your 245I, and your date is reached, meaning that your filing is prior to March 8th, 2019, you could adjust. If you're out of status or you're not 245I, then that March 8th, 2019 date doesn't mean anything. You go to the final action dates, which are right now July 15th, 2017, and you follow those dates, and you'll ultimately deal with the National Visa Center, do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back.
Leia on YouTube said, "Can I travel to Canada with my advanced parole? I got it based on an adjustment of status for my U.S. citizen husband."
Yes, but you need to be able to get into Canada. The advanced parole allows you to return to the United States. So depending what country you are, you got to look to see what the rules are, depending on what country you're a citizen of, for entering Canada. But once you've entered Canada, you can return with the advanced parole.
And she's also wondering if USCIS is going to send her a new Social Security number, even though she's got one, once she actually gets her green card.
No, you keep the same Social Security number for life.
Travel Maniac says, hello, Brad. What do you think?
What do I think?
What do you think?
Magic 8 Ball! Whatever the Magic 8 Ball thinks.
All right. So visa processing time is becoming slower, or moving a bit slower than previous period of time, right? So is there any possibilities to come up from USCIS backlog soon?
Everything gets worse and worse. What I think is it's just worse and worse and worse. Which really says is just do something about it, because do something about your status, because every week, every month, every year, while this maniac, this orange imbecile, this pumpkin,
this Oompa
Loompa,
yeah,
trash,
this toad penis, according to
oh my god,
according to Stormy Daniels, right? Did she call him toad penis?
She did, but you're gonna make me clutch my pearls, Brad.
Yes, mushroom penis, toad penis. He's just making it worse.
Right.
So, yes.
Basically, this is the time to actually get a lawyer, and a good one at that.
Correct.
We had that comment the other day that's like, even if you think it's a slam dunk, even if it's a super easy case, don't do it without a lawyer, y'all.
Man, it's crazy because I talk, especially with all the different cultural events that we
that
cover, and then also with my family, your family, just immigrants that we've had in the past. always talk about how easy it was back then, and like now when they're bringing their family members or friends over, it's totally different. So
it was so much easier for me. It was so much easier for me to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No kidding.
Okay,
I'm sure.
It was so easy.
Like my mom, she barely spoke English, and she was able to bring her whole family here.
Now I'm racking my brains every day.
I'm sure.
No kidding.
You're working for your top dollar.
I want you to know, I had black hair too while Obama was president.
Right.
It's all gray now that this orange guy showed up.
Yeah.
No, I totally get
It has nothing to do with me getting older.
It's so adversarial now.
It
And
is.
you
It's
used
an
to say
adversarial.
that,
It's an adversarial process.
It is. My mom, who is my mom, like she's a tall European white lady. She looks like one of Donald Trump's like preferred immigrants or whatever.
She looks like like Barbara Bush's friend, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Even she had an issue coming into the country just to visit me because she has a green card, and they were really hostile with her. You never know what could happen at the airport, you guys.
Yeah.
Do it without a lawyer.
Get a lawyer.
GT says on YouTube, it's been 190 days and I'm still waiting on an EAD card. The case was filed at the National Benefits Center under an employment-based adjustment of status. When can I expect my work permit? This month, I received my advance parole already, and I received it exactly 180 days after I filed.
Assuming you did everything right, it should be any day.
All right, Latana is saying, hey, Brad, I filed my I-130 for spouse in August 2018. Haven't heard anything yet. I was watching dates from USCIS's website. Now dates are pushed back to priority date May 2018. That's it.
Yeah, either wait or file a mandamus. Those are your options.
When do you think they would, or when are they supposed to hear something back from? So since they filed back in August 2018.
They're supposed to go through the backlog, actually, but who knows? I don't know the actual answer. You know, but I can tell you that 1 year waiting for your spouse when you're a U.S. citizen, when your spouse is supposed to be what's called an immediate relative and have a green card immediately available to him, waiting a year to get an application approved is not immediate, especially when all they have to look is see, are you a citizen? Is this person in another country? Were you free to marry him? It's a legal marriage. That's all they need to figure out.
Question, average time when you do file a mandamus, how fast do you hear
Turnaround?
back? Yeah.
30 days.
Wow.
Yeah. 30 days.
For how slow it moves, that is kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
First Lady Hewitt is asking for a friend, and she says, do you have to stay married to file your citizenship? Also, if you're filing your citizenship and have your bank account with someone other than your wife, is that going to affect you?
Who would they have a bank account with other than their wife?
Maybe a family member, like if you share a bank account with mom or something.
Then you don't have a financial relationship with your spouse. It will affect you.
What about if you're getting divorced? Do you have to stay married?
Then you're not getting a green card if you're getting divorced.
Well, no, but when you're filing for your citizenship, when you're natural.
If it's been based on 5 years of a green card, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you're basing it on 3 years of a green card, it matters.
Okay.
I thought they were applying for their green card.
No, citizenship.
Yeah.
So the bank account would also not matter if it's more than 5 years.
Correct.
Relax, gal. Yes. Hey, Brad, I filed for asylum with my husband in February 2019. Already did my biometrics. When should we expect the interview?
For asylum?
Yes.
What year?
With her husband, February 2019.
Very soon.
They already did their biometrics.
Very soon, because they do it backwards. You should be getting it very soon, by the end of the summer.
Zachary is wondering, can a tax transcript be used as proof of a relationship instead of a proof of marriage for an affidavit of support?
Instead of a proof of, you can use a tax transcript on, as long as it's stamped on your affidavit of support, but not for. What do you mean by proof of?
I have a feeling like instead of a marriage certificate, can you use taxes that we filed jointly together as proof of our relationship?
No, because anyone can check off they're married.
Fair.
You need a marriage certificate.
That's my Facebook to real life translator. I'm thinking that's what he's asking.
Kai says, what legal steps can I take to get my case expedited if immigration informs me that my case is under extended review for almost a year now?
That's a long time.
What do you think?
Mandamus.
You file a litigation. If it's more than 120 days and you went for an interview and you're otherwise eligible for a green card, the government, by delaying your case, is actually denying it. A visa delayed is a visa denied. So what do? You go into federal court. And when you go into federal court, you tell a judge, a visa delayed is a visa denied. It's been an extended review for a year. I'm entitled to my green card. And the federal judge will order immigration to make a decision on your case. And it's in 30 days.
Abayomi said, my wife and I went in for an interview at the USCIS field office in San Antonio, Texas for my I-485 in November of 2018. And after the interview, the officer said they'll get back to us. That was in November. We haven't heard anything since. What now?
If you feel you passed your interview and all is well, it's more than 120 days, the government is violating your rights. You do the same thing I just told the guy before. You file a mandamus. You go for an interview, you're otherwise eligible for your green card, the government has 120 days to make a decision. If they don't make a decision within 120 days, they are violating your rights. And at that point, you can sit on your hands and say, I'll have my rights violated all day long until they make a decision. Or you take the bull by the horns and you go into federal court, you tell a federal court judge, I'm entitled to this benefit. You shouldn't be scared to go and tell somebody you're entitled to a benefit. It's what the law says. Federal judge, tell immigration to give me my benefit.
Winnie 2019 says, hey Brad, if I file for my spouse's AOS this June, how long will he wait to get his green card?
Anywhere from 12 months to 36 months.
Marlene said, if a U.S. citizen filed for a husband she no longer wants to be with, is she financially responsible for him for 10 years, or can she just divorce him due to the marriage not working?
She can get divorced, but she signed an affidavit of support. She's on the hook for 10 years.
Kamei Smith saying, how to prove a bona fide marriage when the spouse is living abroad? Do I have to include my daughter on the affidavit of support if I don't have custody right now and I don't file for her on my taxes?
If you don't have custody of her and you don't have to support her in any way, which I find really hard to believe because every father would support his child at least partly, then you don't put her on. But I would put her on because she's your daughter. I assume you're taking care of her at least partly. And there's a checkbox to say I'm fully dependent or partially dependent. In addition, how do you prove it's a valid marriage? Well, you have communication and you have time together. And maybe you even send money for her support.
Suna Sham said, how long does it take if my husband and I filed for our adopted child who is 14 years old?
If I don't know where this adopted child is.
We don't either.
Are you doing it as an orphan or under the Hague Convention, or are they here in the United States?
Let's assume they're here in the U.S. Can we assume that for the purposes of this question?
Well, then they have a problem if they did an adoption. They would have to have a legal guardianship for 2 years before you adjust the status. So it's all sorts of different issues I would need to know. I don't even know what country this child's from.
Right.
Loletta Brown saying, law only my card is in my maiden name. Can I bring my married papers to show I'm going with my husband? Do you think when I go to the interview, I can ask the interviewer to put my green card in my married name?
Yes.
Colin James said, my friend got married 3 months ago. Should she file with her documents supporting her marriage, like bank statements, wedding pictures, etc., or should she just wait for the interview to bring all of that? And what papers should she go ahead and file now?
File the forms, file the affidavit of support, and you file the documents to prove that it's a legal marriage, which is, here's my marriage certificate, here's my birth certificate, here's my divorce decrees, here's proof this person's a citizen, here's proof this person was born in another country, along with an affidavit of support, which will be 3 years tax returns, job letter, and bank letter. All the proof that it is a bona fide marriage you bring to the interview.
All right, Greg Aku says, I filed my I-130 on December 2016 and got approved May 3rd, 2019. How long do we have to wait until the next process, which is AOS and green card application? Also, how long will it take in total for her interview?
Who filed for who?
Jess says that Greg filed.
Greg filed?
Greg is the person who's asking the question, filed for an I-130. So
is Greg a citizen, a resident, and did he file for his mother, his father, his brother, his sister, his wife?
Does not say anything.
I don't know anything about this, so I would need to know a lot more.
Got you.
Give us some more info.
Kiki said, if a child who is undocumented and is now ready to go to college, can they apply for a student visa to do so?
No, because they're going to show that they have an immigrant intent, they'll be denied.
Rudra says, if I file for divorce before my interview, can I still, or actually just divorce, if I divorce before an interview, can I still be able to use my work permit and advance parole?
I mean, theoretically, yes, but it's no longer valid as soon as you start the divorce.
Honeybee is wondering if her friend is going to be married for 2 years this November. Her husband is now a citizen and is going to be filing for her next month. Is it possible for her to actually get the permanent green card by the time the interview comes around?
How long have they been married?
So they've been married for 2, and husband is putting in.
Yes, you would get a permanent green card. And going back to that other question about the work permit and social, your social is good for life. And the work permit, until they take it away, is a valid work permit. It's just not a good work permit anymore because you're no longer in a bona fide marriage filing an adjustment.
Nana says, is there a waiver for a non-immigrant visa after B1, B2 refusal under 212?
Yes.
And Maurice said, if I intend to send a job letter with my I-864 and I've got my three pay stubs, are they going to ask for additional pay stubs?
Maybe. Bring as many pay stubs as you can, as you have.
I also think he says, I've mistranslated with the Facebook, do I have to send in a job letter if he has 3 pay stubs?
Yes.
Got it.
And with that, one of our newest Belgium Kim and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, one of our newest Bradshaw Live correspondents, Camila Osorio.
Yeah.
Camila Osorio.
Yeah.
She recently went with our crew to the 38th annual Turkish Day Parade and Festival in Manhattan. Now, this year's event was even more special than usual because May 19th was the 100th anniversary of the beginning of the Turkish War of Independence. Let's check it out.
Hi Brad Squad, I'm Camila Osorio. I'm a new phrase in Brad's show live. I come from Colombia and I moved to the US with a student visa. Now I'm on my OPT visa. There are many things I love about America. One of those is the great diversity. Speaking of diversity, I'm at the 38th annual Turkish Day Parade and Festival in Manhattan. There are over 1.2 million Turkish Americans in the US, and this year's parade is expected to be the biggest one yet, as it marks the 100th anniversary of the beginning of the Turkish Wars of Independence. Come with me as we check out this amazing cultural event. It's considered to be the greatest Turkish cultural event outside of Turkey. Hello guys, I'm with Yusuf and his family and I'm gonna ask him some questions. Why is it so important for you to be here today?
This is 100 years anniversary about Kemal Atatürk in Turkey. So the freedom, like 4th of July in the United States. I go to both of them. I celebrate both of them.
Is there something that you wish Americans knew about Turkish culture that you feel they should know?
I'd say Turkish culture, wherever it is, wherever which country you are, just follow the rules. That's the important thing. Learn the language, follow the law, and pay your taxes.
And pay your taxes.
That's very important in the United States.
So Handad, why do you think it's so important to be here today?
It's so nice to be part of the community. Turkey is such a special country, you know. We are a secular democratic country and we're kind of representing that side of the country. Turkish culture is kind of mixed. It has kind of Western elements and Eastern elements. That's why it's so special. But at the end, the most important is we are a secular country.
So Nisam, what do you think this is so important?
I think because it celebrates the friendship of two countries, the diversity of all the people living in America as immigrants. It brings people together. It also shows that there are so many different people living in the States from different countries, so it's actually very good.
May I ask you who's on your back?
It's the founder of Turkish Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk.
So Emery, what brings you here today?
Well, I haven't been to a Turkish parade in about 6-7 years, so it's my first time here in a long time.
What's your favorite thing about the parade?
Just like inclusiveness and diversity with like the teams and everything like that. You have the Azerbaijan people and the Turkish people all coming together. So really nice.
What's your favorite thing about the parade?
The team, soccer team, but not my team, but like I love the soccer team, but next year probably I do it, my team. This is not my team right now here.
This is a great tradition in New York City the American Turkish Federation parade. My best friends are Turkish, and I come to celebrate with them.
Why do you think it's important to celebrate other people's culture?
I think it's very important, especially in America, when people come from all over. It's such a diverse nation, to stand up and be heard, show your patriotism to your homeland.
Why do you think it's important to celebrate your culture?
Why not?
Why
not? Yeah.
Exactly. Actually, I love that response. What's your family immigration story?
My dad moved here with his brothers when I was 3 years old, and then 2 years later, me and my mom came here. She's right there. If you want to say hi.
What's your favorite part about the parade?
It's so nice that different groups of people here from different parts of Turkey. It's a mixed culture actually, different cultures, west, east, and north. It's a beautiful country.
When we first came here, we were an au pair, and we are still au pair. And when we heard about this event, we really want to come there because we really, respect Atatürk and his, way. So yeah, it brings us here. Our family is still living in Turkey, but yeah, we're here alone.
You're loving it, right?
Yeah, United States was my dream, and I just really made it real. So I'm so excited. I still can't believe that I'm here. So it's so exciting.
We are Turkish people, and we are here, and we are glad to support our community in New York. It brings the people became together, and we are celebrating our very important day, which is May 19. It remembers how we are becoming together, part of the big country. So we are supporting our country.
What's your family immigration story?
We came here 10 years ago. So, it's American dream. So, as you know, usual.
What's your immigration story? How long have you been here?
I've been here, actually first is I come to United States 1999. I go back to 2006. And I came back again 2010. So my wife is from here. My children is born here.
Hi, buddy.
Hi. Say hi.
Say hi.
I love the floats and the colors and the patriotic, the songs and the dancing.
Have you ever been to Turkey?
Not yet. I hope to go soon.
Amen. Why is it so important to you, this parade?
I follow my husband. Come for fun, for the celebrate with my families, yeah, or enjoy.
I love the America. It's dream is freedom. Life is good. Nobody touch nobody, I love that. It's good life.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a lot of fun. Bye, buddy.
You too.
Hey guys, this was amazing. It was so much fun celebrating different cultures, different people. And today we got to celebrate the Turkish culture. This was incredible. Thank you so much.
All right, very good job there. First time out for Camilla.
Good job, Camilla.
Yes,
Killed
and
it.
welcome to Bradshaw Live.
Yes.
All right, Julian. Julian, the TriCaster guy. It's time for the speed round. And will you please put 12 minutes on the clock? I am going to try to do something that no human being has ever tried to do before.
Guinness Book, are you watching?
At least since last week.
Oh.
Right.
But I tried it previously.
Right. That
And
one
failed.
It did.
You failed.
I don't think we did. Right? We didn't did it.
Just
We just missed
barely,
it. We just missed it.
Just barely is
All
still a fail.
50 immigration questions, many in multiple parts, some with additional commentary by Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Absolutely, always.
Okay. I will answer in 12 minutes. From the pizza parlor. No, I will do it from here.
Right.
Blindfold. No, I will not
you're not
blindfold
gonna be
myself.
blindfolded.
Wouldn't be
Spinning.
great if I could. Spinning. No,
you're going to be sitting.
Nope.
Can I do it, Belgium Kim?
I have all the faith in you, Brad.
You have all the faith in me.
But really, this is a team effort. We
It
got to make
is.
sure that we're delivering them quickly, succinctly, and clearly. We got to make sure not to add any chit chat. You got to make sure not to ask any follow-ups, Brad. We're
Right.
giving you all the information we got.
I
It's team
wonder
effort.
if Julian, the TriCaster guy, thinks I'm going to do it.
I think as long as you don't play with the magic 8-ball.
Julian, the TriCaster guy, will I be answering 50 questions in 12 minutes?
Will he do it?
Oh,
Yes.
he's saying yes.
He's saying yes. Shaking his head yes. All right, you ready? Let's do it.
All right, Isaiah says the immigration said they received the application in October and now it's June. It's been 8 months and still didn't receive my work permit. What's going on?
You screwed up the work permit.
H says, I'm a U.S. citizen applying for the I-130 for my husband in October of 2018. I applied through the marriage visa. He'll receive the green card when he comes to the USA, but we've been waiting almost 8 months. Can he visit me from the UK while we're waiting?
He can, but there's always an issue when he comes to the airport about his intent. He could have a problem.
Samab says, I have a pending I-485 for 44 months filed after 1 year of asylum approval. Should I do a mandamus and how much will it cost? I'm Christian from Pakistan.
Yes, you should do a mandamus from Pakistan, certainly. I can't tell you the cost, but you will get a green card very quickly.
James says we filed an I-130 and I-485 in May of 2019 in California. Our priority date is May 10th. We received the receipt a week later, and we're currently waiting for the biometrics. My question is, does it take 4 weeks for the schedule notice and
approximately 4 to 6 weeks for biometrics.
Vinny said I received my green card but doesn't have my middle name, only my first and last name. Will I have any problems while traveling as my passport has my full name?
No, but bring your birth certificate to show your full name.
Ava says I received an email that as of March 20th of this year, my I-45 is ready for an interview, but I haven't gotten any mail about it yet. Can you tell me what it means?
It means they looked at your papers, it seems okay, and they'll schedule you when they're damn well and ready to do it, and it could be 2 years from now, it could be tomorrow.
Black Beauty says my other half is in Jamaica and we're planning on marrying in August. I wanted to know, would the fiancé visa be faster way to get him here?
Fiancé visa is faster. Don't get married, just bring him here and marry here.
Is it better than doing the I-130?
Yes.
Josie says if the U.S. consulate in the Philippines is closing, as they said, but we found out that was the...
It's not the U.S. consulate, it's USCIS.
My fiancé was scheduled last May 30th for an interview.
It's a consulate's fine. It's USCIS. Has nothing to do with your fiancé visa.
Vanny says, are you supposed to get your EAD first or the interview? How long after filing?
EAD generally, but sometimes people get their interviews first. Crazy world we live in.
Joanna Garcia said, after receiving the certificate of naturalization, when can I claim my parents?
The next day you can file for them. You never claim a parent.
Also, my husband and I have an income of more than $70,000 a year. Is that enough proof of economic support for them?
Philip says, my spouse came to my home country. We got married. She returned back to the U.S. She's a green card holder for 5 years. Later, I applied for a USA tourist visa. I was granted. But in the visa application, I stated I was married and provided my wife's name and date of birth. Will that be a problem if I change my mind, deciding to marry her again when I visit?
No. Because you've changed your mind.
Allie says, my cousin overstayed his visa. Can his mom visit him while she has a tourist visa? And is that going to affect my cousin's immigration status?
Your mom's tourist visa should not be affected by somebody else's out of status.
Kamei says, if I live with a relative, will I have to include them on the affidavit of support as household members when sponsoring my spouse?
Yes.
Ben said, can someone with a pending I-130 approval filed in April of 2018 go on with the family F2A category that's going to become current in July of 2019? I filed an adjustment of status.
Can they go on? I don't understand what you mean by go on.
Go on with an F2A category? So
if you're eligible to adjust, you adjust. If you're not eligible to adjust, you can't. Are you in status? You have to adjust in status on an F2A. If you're a citizen, then then it doesn't matter whether you're in status or out of status. I need more info, more importantly.
Transcending says, I live abroad. During my U.S. consulate interview for a green card, they'll see that I've been unemployed for the last 5 years with no income. Would that be a problem or work against me?
What are they trying to get?
During my U.S. consulate interview for a green card.
That you're not working doesn't matter. It's your spouse who's the citizen.
Rade13 on Instagram said, my case was approved on January 12th of this year and was sent to NVC for processing on the 18th. I received a notification from NVC saying that my case processing was stopped due to an overflow of visas and that they'll contact me. I got this back in March. How long is it going to take to restart my case? It's an EB1 for extraordinary sports.
You should get it immediately because EB1 is EB1. Visas are immediately available. If you don't hear from them within 120 days, you file a mandamus.
Samuel says, can I stay 6 months out of the USA with a 1-year green card stamp on my passport?
Less than 6 months, not 6 months.
Sonia said, my husband is putting in the I-130 for me from last year in April, and all I got back was a number. Should I get something else in the mail since last April?
For a green card, you should get an I-130. If you're here in the United States, you should have got a work permit. If you're in another country, you should just get an I-130 receipt notice.
Lemon Rose says, filed our N400 online more than 5 years ago for the green card. My husband and I got the green card through EB3. Hubby's divorce not disclosed on his H4 and AOS. Can amend during the interview will cause denial for our N400?
As long as you were free to marry him at the time and it was a legitimate marriage, it shouldn't be a problem. You should tell the truth.
Leno says, I'm on a tourist visa here for the last 4 months, and if I wanted to find a company to sponsor me, can I do the application here, or would I have to go home to do so? And is the fact that I didn't get a passport, stamp in my passport when I arrived in the country, a problem?
It's not a problem to not have a stamp in your passport. You'll probably have to go home because you're not going to have enough time to do it here.
Virginia Chin says, can you use her home as an asset in the affidavit of support
Yes,
if you're still living?
20% of the equity, yes.
Okay. We have enough equity in it to sasatisfy the amount needed.
20% of the equity, yes.
Okay.
Marie said, what if you do an interview 3 times for your citizenship and don't pass? Can a lawyer help you pass it?
Depends what the problem is.
Chris says, I'd like to ask what would be the strongest or best I-601 waiver? I work full-time, I pay for everything, we've got a baby together, and I've got DACA. Any suggestions to have a strong waiver application?
Somebody's dying of cancer and they can't get treatment in another country, and if they go to that country to live with their spouse, they will be dead. That's the strongest one. I don't pray it on anybody. But each case is based on extreme and unusual hardship. Come see me.
Simon says, have an asylum case at the court in California now, married to a U.S. citizen. We have a child together, so where should we start to get my green card through our marriage?
File an adjustment.
Vanish says he filed for his wife and daughter, but they still can't get through. Can he put in an I-130 for his parents in the meantime?
Yes.
Or should he wait?
You can put in multiple cases.
Lemon Rose's addition to his comment, hubby was petitioned by his U.S. citizen mom back in 1994. He was 18, got denied due to medical. Is that going to be asked during the N400 interview, the 5-year green card through the wife, EB3?
You filing for another family member has nothing to do with your wife's citizenship.
Ben says, is it allowed to drive with your international driver's license and your I-130 receipt in case you're pulled over by the police?
Only for the first 90 days you're in America.
So you've overstayed for over a year since
You're not legally driving.
Dorothy says the I-485 pending did 2017, November 2018 application VAWA had prima facie. Renew my I-765 February 2019 and I-131 transferred to Vermont. They used the fingerprints from the I-485. How long is this going to take?
It sounds like it's been taking a hell of a long time. A VAWA case shouldn't take more than 18 to 24 months. If it's longer than that, come see me, file a mandamus.
George says, I entered with a fake passport and got married after, but was denied an I-130. But I was denied, but then the I-130 was approved. Then the marriage broke up and I filed for VAWA and was denied because of under the good moral character law. And then I filed for VAWA again and was approved. Now I've got advanced parole. Can I travel before my interview?
I wouldn't travel because you have a misrepresentation issue. And you definitely need a waiver to ultimately adjust your status.
Alicia says, do you know if I qualify for FAFSA, being that I have a pending AOS? I do have advanced parole. I'm considering a parolee, being that the parolees are eligible non-citizens.
What does she want to be eligible for?
FAFSA. Financial aid, I think.
Financial aid, you cannot get financial aid till you get a green card.
Don Fisher says, my daughter is under F2B category and her priority date is October of 2015. NVC says they reached processing for August 2014. What does that mean, my waiting time?
If they're in the United States and they're eligible to adjust, it means you got a year to go. If you're outside the United States, you go by the final action dates, which are on May 15th, 2013.
Kayana Williams saying, sooner to adopt the child before, maybe they're trying to adopt the child before the 16th birthday, and also you live with the child for 2 years legally and show proof. Can you do this?
If you have an adoption for 2 years and you live with the child for 2 years and the child was adopted under the age of 18, made a legal entry into America, and you are in fact citizens and the child is now under 21, yes.
Ma said, how do you prove a bona fide marriage if you got married in the U.S., applied for an adjustment of status, and your spouse is U.S. citizen spouse is studying abroad? I'm on an F1, but my spouse is going to finish her semester abroad and live with me after just 7 months.
It's hard to prove a bona fide marriage when your spouse is abroad and you're here. You're going to have a hard time. You got to speak to us and see what you got.
Sarah asks, if someone is married for 3 years and the husband does not want to file for her, how can she go about doing it?
Leave him, either file a VAWA or get divorced and marry someone else who will file for you.
Larry says he's in America, but I'm going to my home country. Can I do my divorce there even though my wife is here in the U.S.?
You can do a divorce anywhere where you're allowed to have jurisdiction to do a divorce.
Donette Gray says, how long does it take for a son to file for his parents?
About a year and a half.
The son is a citizen and they're in Jamaica.
About a year and a half.
Donette said, how long does it take for a son to file for his parents?
They're about a year and a half.
Leon said, I filed for an I-601A waiver 4 months ago and did not hear from USCIS.
1 year.
Kiki says, my husband is a green card holder. How long will it take for me to get my documents if he should file for me?
If you're in the country, 12 to 24 months. If you're out of the country, 18 months.
Danette said a friend's wife is in the U.S. Her husband's in Jamaica. The wife's a green card holder. Can she file for her husband while he's still in Jamaica, and how long will it take?
Yes, about 3 years.
Shady Green says that I was 17 when I got arrested for robbery, second degree. Never went to juvenile court. Was charged as an adult. Would I qualify for a youthful offender exception for
No,
to
because
the
you
crime?
got charged as an adult.
Kelly said, I did my biometrics, but I want to do a divorce. What should I do?
Do a divorce.
Jose K says, what do I need to show for my spouse interview if we're applying for EB3 work green card?
For your spouse, that you live together. It's a bona fide marriage.
We've got a question from Diana, who said, my green card expired in August of 2018, and they sent me an extension of 18 months. Can I travel out of the country without any problems?
No problem.
Don says, my daughter is under F2B CAT. Her priority date is October 2015. NBC says they reached processing time August 2014. Please explain.
We did already. It depends on whether you're in America, you adjust here. If you're out of America, you got to wait on final processing dates, assuming you could adjust if you're legal or 245I.
MS says, can a mandamus be filed for an applicant that's living outside the U.S.?
Perhaps, depending on the situation.
Shay says, my 13-year-old niece went to embassy and was denied for the third time after her mom was told that she needed to get her visa first, which she did, and then made another appointment for her, and she was denied again. The letter gave her state that she cannot appeal, she can only reapply. What can her mom do for it?
Reapply or contact a lawyer and see if we can argue it out with them.
Khalid said, if the divorce happened before getting the green card on a K-1, can I still get my green card or not?
As long as you got married, yes.
Ty is a citizen. I filed for my I-130 in March 2019. My husband is living in Nigeria. USCIS sent me a receipt number, but I want to know how long does it take for the form I-130 to be approved?
12 months, 18 months for a green card.
Nova is waiting for a date to do her citizenship.
One more!
We
had two more.
Two more to go.
Dang!
Damn it!
We still have not done it.
I am pissed at that.
I know.
I'm like Evil Knievel trying to jump the Snake River, and I keep screwing it up. Breaking my ribs every time here.
Two more. I think we were doing really good.
I have broken ribs. I didn't even breathe through that.
We killed it.
Although Carol Anderson, the Tiger, said we hit 50.
Everyone is actually, no, everyone's saying 49.
49.
Yeah, y'all. I got 49 on my list.
Yeah, we need a counter.
We're working on it, Brad.
Yeah,
we're figuring out the logistics.
This really sucks because I thought that we were actually gonna hit it.
I thought we were gonna get it too. I saw you going
Well, Carol
forward
Anderson, the Tiger, says 51. Rob J. Roberts says we failed.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Abigail said 52.
Right.
Wait, Glambo
Nobody
said
seems
50?
to. We don't even know how to count. Nobody seems to know how to count. Everybody's got
did you
different.
guys put more questions?
No, there were exactly 50 questions in our folder.
But you may have asked additional questions as
Oh,
part
you know
of
what?
them.
She did ask my
There
questions
were-
a couple times.
There were a couple two-parters. So if we're talking about sheer
And
number of
I
immigration
remember I got
questions
asked the
answered.
same question twice, at least twice.
Yeah.
That's,
Did I do
yeah,
that?
you,
Had
you
I
asked my
not been,
question.
had I not been asked the same question twice,
Then we would have got
we
them
would have
too.
gotten it.
Oh man, it was my fault.
But so
It
we could say we beat the Guinness Book of World Records, but there has to be an asterisk on there.
Yeah.
It's like we were taking steroids during the home run.
Man,
era.
Julian just said I was biting my nails. Me too, Julian. Me
I
too.
wasn't breathing. I said,
My heart was going fast.
I said I'm going to break a rib here. I'm not breathing.
Damn.
All right,
Sorry,
comments of the day. Comments of the day. Belgium Kim and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Kimmy's feeling kind of bad.
God, I hate
It was kind of Kimmy's fault,
I
guys.
didn't realize that was my
Yes.
fault. Damn it.
Yeah. I come out looking like, how you gonna ask my question again? He said, I said a year and a half.
That's right. I said it already.
I know. Damn. Jamie Grant, thank God for our comments of the day, said, evening to you all. I'm taking the time out on behalf of my family to thank the law firm for helping my brother obtain his green card thanks to his attorney, Marina Brakefield, who worked tirelessly.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. She's a good job. She's a good lawyer, Marina.
Love us,
Awesome.
Marina.
All right, for our second comment of the day, Philip McDonald saying, learned so much from Brad that I could even be an immigration lawyer.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
He's coming for you,
Do you
Brad.
know how many people say I did my entire case just from listening to you?
Wow.
And I never
That's
called the
amazing.
question. I just listened.
That is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's bad for business, Brad.
Bad for business. But good for humanity.
Good
bad
for
for business, good for humanity.
Look at you.
That's, you know what?
guy.
That's going to be the motto of our new show. Instead of helping people reach the American dream,
Right. Yeah.
Bradshaw Live. Bad for business, good for humanity.
I actually like that.
We've been working on our elevator pitch
Yes,
lately. That's
yeah.
a good
That
one.
actually is a really good elevator pitch.
Bradshaw Live. Bad for business, good for humanity. I like it. Has a good ring to it. Okay, next.
Random vids on YouTube really sweetly said, "Hi, this is Stella's son. Thanks for the information that you provided. We'll be in touch with your offices soon. Bless you."
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Thank
nice,
you.
nice.
Thank you.
All right, I like this one from Lisa Bling Rose on Facebook saying, watching the countdown like watching Warriors and Toronto.
That is.
Wow, we're giving the same feeling.
Yes.
And
That's right.
That's
Don't tune
that's
into the
kinda-
finals. Tune into Bradshaw Live.
Right, that's kind of deep.
That's everything?
That's all we got.
All right, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, fill us in on your award show tomorrow, Belgium Kim. Fill us in on whatever you're doing. I'm going home to sleep. I wish you all a wonderful evening, a wonderful adieu, and we will see you tomorrow, Tuesday. What's so funny?
Cause she ain't gonna do shit after this. She ain't about to do nothing.
She ain't doing nothing. Yonathan, you're going to this amazing award show.
And they're like, yeah, Kim, let us know what you're doing. She's all laughing like going home.
Belgium Kim, enjoy your laundry. I'm going to go.
I got a bottle of Prosecco.
That's
in my fridge.
right.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias will tell us about this amazing evening. Belgium Kim will tell us about separating the darks from the whites. And I'm going to sleep. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?